What if you could easily eliminate all forms of procrastination from your life? How much would you get done? How much better would you feel mentally? And how much more would you accomplish? I bet if you're like most people, then you're imagining how incredible your life could be. Because procrastination, well, that's an issue everybody deals with. The problem is that so many people who are chronic procrastinators, me included in the past, we believe that we just need a CEO morning routine or to be more disciplined or to have more willpower in order to get things done. In reality, that's not the case at all. You first need to understand what's causing procrastination in the first place and why you have these behaviors that are holding you back. So today, let's talk about exactly that. We'll understand what's happening in your brain that makes you procrastinate and these simple mental models you can adopt to overcome procrastination completely. They've worked for me, and I'm confident that they will work for you as well. Now, let's talk about what's happening inside of your brain when these procrastination moments strike. When it comes to planning, organizing, and actually acting out a task, there's a bunch of shit going on in your head. Essentially, it's this neurochemical cocktail of different things happening which enable you to plan, organize, and actually follow through with what it is you're trying to do. I won't go too deep because I'm not a neuroscientist, but in short, here's what it is. Two signals fire at once. Your go system, which is dopamine from the ventral tegmental area in striatum, pulls you toward the work. Your protect system, which is the amygdala and the release of cortisol, yanks you back from the work. When you get close to starting the task, the scary pieces feel bigger. But when you step away, the upside feels bigger. And this tug of war between stay and go is what leads to procrastination. Think of it as neural warfare, a civil war going on in your very own head. One part of your brain is like, let's go, we're gonna get the work done and make progress. The other side of your brain is thinking, that doesn't feel safe, that looks scary, we wanna stay where we are in the familiar. In many cases, the familiar side, the stay put side, wins because, as we mentioned before, humans are meant to survive. We're wired to thrive and survive. And when we've been conditioned with certain beliefs and thoughts and opinions and emotions, we anchor our identity to those things. And anything outside of that is terrifying, and it puts our survival at stake. At least that's how our mind perceives it. Your brain doesn't care about your deadline or how important the work is. It cares about immediate threats and rewards because we're wired for survival and reproduction. When the amygdala senses uncertainty, it associates that with danger, hence why the unknown is terrifying to us. And your dopamine system, it needs clear, achievable targets to fire properly and keep you on the right path when taking action. This is why the idea of pushing through and having willpower and discipline will only take you so far. Because ultimately, when that's your approach, you're fighting against your brain's natural wiring. The truth is, if you work in tandem with your brain's natural wiring, or make the conscious decision to rewire it to fit your new beliefs and thoughts and actions, you can create a new identity and actually move past where you're stuck at doing. Overcoming procrastination. So here are 3 things I have done personally to rewire how my brain works to overcome procrastination altogether. Number 1 is set clear, tangible goals. A lot of people I've known, whether that's from university or my jobs or other entrepreneurs and service providers online, in speaking with them, I've noticed that many of them will say, I wake up and I do 90 minutes of deep work. It's like, okay, 90 minutes of deep work is great, but what specifically do you work on in those 90 minutes? Do you have a plan? Or do you just open your laptop and say, screw it, I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna do my very best. Your brain, especially the powerful neurochemicals we talked about earlier, need more than just vague promises of doing deep work to actually make it happen. Get specific. Whatever it is you're trying to do in X amount of time, write it down, type it, tell a friend, put it on a sticky note. Whatever it is, know exactly what it is you're trying to do. You could say something like, in the next 90 minutes, my goal is to create 5 fully edited short form videos to post on YouTube so I can build my authority, create trust with my audience, and attract more like-minded people. Notice how I said what I'm going to do, why I'm going to do it, and the outcome I'm moving towards. 3 things: what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and the outcome I will achieve. You can do the same for yourself. Number 2 is balancing skill and challenge. Think about it like this. If you're doing a specific task that is too simple, then you become bored. If you do a specific task that is too difficult, you become anxious. Either way, you won't do the work. Because if you're too bored, you'll say, it's not that important. I don't need to do it. And if it's too difficult, you say, hey, I don't have the skills and the knowledge or the confidence to make this happen. And then you don't do it, which are both forms of procrastination. You must find that intersection that goes right down the middle. That way you can push yourself and make some degree of progress with whatever it is you're doing, but not too far so that you eventually end up quitting. So here's an example. Let's say you provide some sort of freelance service or offer to your clients. And you work with a few clients, but you know that, hey, I have more energy and more skill and more time. I can take on even more clients. So you figure out a plan to do outreach to the right people so you can land them. But deep down, you have these limiting beliefs. You just don't feel all that confident when it comes to talking with people and getting them to see the value in your offer. So you put off the outreach. Hours pass, days pass. You've procrastinated because the fear of rejection or wasting time or whatever else is on your mind just holds you back. A simple approach: balancing skill of outreach with the challenge of outreach. So you could reach out to people who are your friends. You could reach out to past clients. You could reach out to your colleagues or former colleagues who might know people who could be qualified prospective clients. You are lowering the barrier to entry so you're not outreaching to these random people, which is terrifying, but instead you're still doing the outreach, which is the skill, just with people you're more comfortable with. And as time passes, maybe you'll land a client, maybe you'll land multiple clients. Regardless, you develop this momentum for doing the work itself, which in this case is outreach. Number 3 is assess the behavior of procrastination. So this is a little mental trick I've been doing when I feel myself avoiding the work or just not feeling motivated at all to do whatever it is I need to be doing. So I'll sit down, close my eyes and meditate, or perhaps even go for a walk, and I'll ask myself this one simple question. Is this procrastination a form of intuitive wisdom, or am I simply being lazy? Sometimes the procrastination is happening because deep down at the unconscious level, I know that whatever task I'm supposed to be doing really isn't all that important, and it's something that maybe I shouldn't be spending 2 or 3 hours trying to do. But other times, no, I'm just being lazy. And this is something that you need to ask yourself as well. Because if a task truly is important, and if the outcome you're working towards actually matters to you, then yeah, you're gonna get your ass up and put the work in. So give this 3rd step a try and be brutally honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, then even this is a waste of time, and ultimately it's another form of procrastination. The way I look at procrastination is this. It's a brain chemistry problem with brain chemistry solutions. In many cases, It's not you being lazy. Except for, of course, what I just mentioned, when sometimes you just are being a bit lazy. But this is quite literally a neural warfare, civil war happening in your head that you need to overcome. Now that you have this awareness of what's happening in your brain and you've become aware of the exact forms procrastination takes in your life, making change is entirely up to you. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe while you're here, and share this video with a friend who you think is either really lazy or just procrastinates a lot. Maybe it'll change their day, and maybe it'll even change their life. So, that said, I'm off. You take care.